So I'm back here about to tell you about separating yourself. Not necessarily going to go into detail about what to do to separate yourself. I'm just going to go into detail about why it's necessary to separate yourself. When I say separate yourself, I mean separate your way of thinking, separate yourself with the amount of money you want to make, separate yourself from the type of career you want to have, than people that are just want to stay stagnant with who they are and not grow. You know what I'm saying? So if you have friends, if you have family members, if you have people in your circle that are cool with a certain level, but you know you're not cool with that, you don't want to be there, you don't want to be making 40,000 a year, 50,000 a year, you don't want to do the same type of jobs that they're getting into, you don't want to live the same lifestyle, be fat like them, be real out of shape like them, you don't want to be drinking every weekend like them, you have to separate yourself. And the easiest way to start is just from literally, it's not easy, my bad, but the quickest way to start is by separating who you hang out with. So if these friends are doing this, or these coworkers or these family members are all the time not doing anything, staying the same, staying broke, staying unhappy, staying out of shape, whatever, no disrespect to them, but you kind of have to separate yourself from them, literally not hang out with them like that. Does that mean not talk to them on the phone every now and then? No. Does that mean not call them when something's going on, or not accept their calls when something's going wrong? No. This just means that the amount of time you spend with them has to go down. Because if it doesn't, I'm pretty sure y'all know the saying, birds of a feather flock together. I probably said that shit in like 5 videos already on my channel. But if you don't separate yourself, you're going to continuously be feeding your brain the same lame vibes that it's been getting, that's keeping you at a level that below what you need to be operating at. In order to operate at elite tier, like elite status, you need to hang around elite people and have elite vibes and have elite conversations and have elite just energy around you. Like when Kobe transitioned from high school to NBA, he was only around the best players in the world when he went from high school to NBA. He had no choice but to decrease that gap and get better. It would be different if he was at college. Like it would be good, but it wouldn't be the next level. That's why his game increased exponentially, because he was around better people. You know what I'm saying? So separate yourself literally from the people that are not where you want to be in life, and get around people that are where you want to be in life. That's gonna be the hardest thing, but the best thing you can do for yourself is separate who you kick it with. Because you're gonna have ties, emotional bonds, and people gonna make you feel guilty, and people gonna make you feel like you think you're better than them. You don't think you're better than them, you just don't want to do what they're doing anymore. If they want to come along with you with the ride, which most people won't, if they want to come around with you with the ride, you can bring them with you. But if they want to stay the same, you gotta leave them alone. You gotta leave them alone. I don't care who it is, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunt, whoever it is, leave their ass alone if they're not trying to grow. I already went to that. So basically, when you separate yourself, you're not doing it just for you at this moment. You are, but you're doing it for your future family or whoever you want to support in your life. So if you have kids, if you plan on having kids, and you want them to live a better life than what you grew up living, you can't expect that without separating yourself. So what I mean is, you don't want to be, do you want your kids to be like the people you're kicking it with? Do you want your kids to be like the people that's smoking all the time, drinking all the time, partying all the time, laying up till fucking 1 p.m. all day? If that's who you want your kids to be looking up to and being like, stay the same. Stay the same. There's no reason for you to grow. Stay the same. It's easy to slip into poverty. Like going into poverty requires no effort. It requires nothing. You could just do that. Literally don't do nothing all day and it'll happen to you. But if you don't want your kids to be like the bums that you may or may not be kicking it with, then don't hang around them anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want your kids to be like the doctors, lawyers, the entrepreneurs, the people that change the world, like that change things and make a difference, then hang around people that are making a difference right now. So when your kids grow up, they can see people that make a difference instead of bums and lamos. Because that's the long-term consequences of your decisions. So right now, it might be cool to be kicking with people that aren't really doing nothing. Well, it's never cool. But right now, it might be more acceptable for you. But later on down the line, when you start getting older, a kid pop up, 2 kids pop up, 3 kids pop up, And now when they coming up, their role models are, oh, Uncle Joe, he just gets drunk Friday through Sunday when he's off of work because he can't really cope with his life because he messed up when he was young like my dad did. So I guess it's the path I need to go on, is to just get a regular job, barely make it, kind of struggle, get drunk on the weekend. That's what your kids are going to start thinking when they look at these people that are bums. I don't have kids yet, but I can kind of see, I'm kind of looking at it from a bird's eye view of like, I'm in that middle stage where I'm starting to see kids come up, and I'm kind of in that middle stage of transitioning from post-college to like career really grind mode. And I'm kind of seeing people that already gave up in life and how they look at things. I'm just in that weird little middle, like kind of beginning stage, middle ground. So I'm kind of viewing things different. Like I see how kids grow up and have a certain mentality now, why they have that mentality now, because I'm looking at their parents and how their mentality is all fucked up, you know what I'm saying? So do it for your family, bare minimum. Bare minimum. Get off your ass and leave the lame group that you're kicking with, leave the lame mentality that you have, like leave all that shit behind you and separate yourself from the regular people that are just regular, doing nothing with, not saying doing nothing, but just cool with just the bare minimum. You don't want to ever be at the bare minimum. COVID should have exposed this for y'all, being at the bare minimum. The businesses that were operating at the bare minimum, barely kind of surviving, doing a little bit, they all capsized. The businesses that were doing exponentially better than most took a little hit, and a lot of them, most of them, started doing even better from when COVID started, because they were separating themselves by the competition like this, basically barely making it. If you had a job, you were barely getting paid enough to pay your bills and you lost it, guess what? You the one begging for the stimulus check. Not saying that's a bad thing, but you the one that's going through it right now the hardest, because you are barely sustaining versus really separating yourself. How you separate yourself? I'm not going into detail. Read books, go to seminars, kick it with good people, continuously learn every day, learn a skill, learn a trade, try to get a better paying job, try to hang around with the bosses at your job, learn from the bosses at your job, go to YouTube, Google. It's a million ways to separate yourself and learn a new skill to get more income or get more knowledge and give back to more people. It's a million ways. But if you don't look for them, if you look for excuses, you're going to stay the same and be lumped up into that 80% majority of people that aren't really happy with what they do in their life, and they're kind of content with the way things just fail for them. You can just fail, all right, this is just my life now. You don't ever want to be that person that's just, oh, this is just my life now. I guess you have control of your life, but if you don't separate yourself, you're going to be floating barely above poverty, barely above survival. And if that's what makes you happy, it is what it is. And lastly, last thing about separating yourself, when you're on this journey of doing this, don't let people that knew you from when you were your lesser self make you feel guilty about growing. So once they see you going to the gym, staying up late, getting up early, working out, picking up another job, picking up a side hustle, learning another skill, you don't have time to go out and party or go out and drink, go out and smoke, go out and just fuck up your time, don't let them make you feel guilty about doing any of that. Because them making you feel guilty is just a reflection on themselves of what they aren't doing. And if they aren't doing anything, I learned this yesterday from Grant Cardone. Skeptics are always broke. So they're always skeptical and talking shit and kind of trying to talk down on what you're doing. Most of the time, well, he said always, so I'm just going with the always. I'll trust his word. He got more experience in this than me. I'll look into it myself later, but skeptics are always broke. Most of the people that's always criticizing, condemning, oh, you think you could do that? You think you can start that business? Oh, you think you do? Those are always the brokest people, not doing shit with their life but sitting up. Nothing but sitting up, talking shit. So don't feel guilty about the people that just laying up on their ass, doing nothing. Don't let them make you feel guilty about you elevating your game. Because once you elevate your game, eventually you're not even going to even see them or talk to them ever again in your life. You only go kick it with people that's operating at your level. You only want to operate with people at your level or better. You don't make friends, especially below you. You make a few friends laterally, people doing the same thing, and you try to make a majority of your acquaintances of the people that are above you in life. Kicking the people below you aren't going to do nothing. Leave them, drop them. Leave it alone. Kicking people that are on your level are doing better. Don't let them make you feel guilty ashamed. Oh, you think you better than us? It's not even that you think you better than them. You're not anti them. You're just you. That's it. You're not anti them. You're just you. It's nothing personal about me trying to separate myself and grow and do better for myself, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You should be wanting to do that. People that are criticizing you should be wanting to do that. But it's easier for people that are criticizing just to criticize and not do shit. That's why they just criticize and not do shit, because it's easy. It's easy to criticize and not do shit. I'm going to be back on this topic again about how to separate yourself later. But for now, be aware when you start to separate yourself, what the factors are. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I'm going to be hollering at y'all later.